Importance of planning in management of tasks. This is what we will be discussing today in this presentation. So let us understand the agenda for this presentation altogether. This is very interesting. We will try to fragment this presentation into four sections. First, why planning is required. Let's understand what are the process of planning, benefits of planning. And the second one would be what are the various types of plan that the manager might be used in terms of being on long range plan, short range plans, strategic plans, tactical plans, and probably the operational plans as it being said. Next is what we will talk about the tools and techniques for planning in terms of forecasting, contingency planning, scenario planning, benchmarking, and use of staff planners. When we are saying about staff planners, we are giving assigning duties so that everybody is manning the position at all the time for the organization. Remember, I will be just giving you a brief overview of exactly what has been done about importance of planning and the management of task is all about it. So implementing the plans to achieve the result is all about goal oriented, being goal aligned or settings or participation and involvement. So let us understand why the planning is required. Well, the first thing and the foremost thing, planning means there is an objective that needs to be achieved. So if there is an objective and it has to be achieved, the way you have to achieve it, it is what we will be telling it to you. So there is what we will be talking about, the desired outcomes, the paths, the plan, the steps, everything that needs to be taken care of. In terms of why and how managers planning, I've already told you about what exactly would be planning would be all about it, the objectives and the plans thereby. So let us understand the various steps in your plan altogether. First, and I have already stated, it is your objective that determines your plan. Remember what was your objective, where do you stand, and how long do you have, what resources are at your disposal to achieve the objective. So you need to understand the various premises or various situations that you are into before enacting about it. Once you have started, I've understood all the pros and cons about the objective, the resources, the availability, the viability, then you look for various options and the paths to reach your goal. And based on the best path that you objectively analyze, you eventually implement it and execute it. So that is what will be the planning process. First, defining your objectives, determining where you stand vis-a-vis objective, develop premises regarding the future conditions, analyze alternatives and make a plan, implement the plan and evaluate the result as the case might be. So let us understand the roles of planning. That is very true. Controlling in management processes. Remember, PLCO is what we all always say is planning, leading, controlling, and organizing. First, set the direction. Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve? Leading is to inspire efforts. Inspire effort wherein people see you in action. You inspire people to follow your actions altogether. Controlling in terms of your performance, in terms of your corrective informations or actions that needs to be taken care of, and organizing is to create the structure that comes around here. That is what we will be looking into it. So why and how managers plan? Benefit of planning is to improve focus and flexibility, improve actions and orientations, improve coordinations, improve time management. This is what we will be looking into it every now and then. This is the benefit because therein it tells me that we are in the process of achieving the objectives. That's the benefit of planning. It gives me a timeline, it gives me the resource usages, it gives me what is going right and what is going wrong. It is absolutely everything is under control. The personal time management tips is do say no to requests that distract from what you are doing. Don't get bogged down in details that can be addressed later. Do screen telephone calls, emails, and meeting requests as the case might be. This is of vital importance for you to understand altogether. So do screen telephone calls, emails, and meeting requests thereby. This is very important. So more personal time management tips. Don't let drop-in visitors, instant messages used up your time. Do prioritize your important and urgent work. So this is where you need to understand. Never get swept away by emotions or distraction. Always prioritize and work the plan out. Do not become time bound or calendar bound by letting others people schedule. control your schedule, do follow priorities, and do most of the important things in urgent work. Type of plan is long-term plan, look 3 or more years into the future. Short-term plans typically covers 1 more year or less. Now, this is the types of plan that we are looking into it. Everybody who are planning for the day, for the week are operational plans. Anybody is working, planning for 6 months, 1 year is short-term plans. Beyond 1 year or 3 years is what we call as a long-term plans. So most of us have 3 months time frame. A few of us has 1 year time frame, and very few of us has a 20-year time frame. And believe me or not, I have showed it with you in the time frame of the plans is people like the employees at the lower rung of the people who absolutely live from the moment. So they have 3 months time frame to work it out. A few of us, the managers, the supervisors, the people in senior position, can manage the scheme of things for 1 year time frame, or plan the things for 1 year time frame. But the top management, they would be thinking way ahead, they would be looking 20 years ahead, and they are the visionary leaders. So very few of us actually plan for 20 years time. So let us understand what we will be talking about it in terms of the types of plan that comes around here, which is to be told around. The strategic plans is to set broad, comprehensive, longer term action direction for the organizations. As I have said it to you, vision clarifies the purposes of the organization, what it hopes to be in the future, as the case might be. So we have said about the tactic, we have said about the long term, short term. Now comes the tactical and the functional plan. Remember, tactical plan is only the sub plans within the strategic plan. It's a small plan that comes around to execute your strategies or execute the longer term goals. Functional plan, on the other hand, indicates how different operation within an organization, let's say financial, operation, engineering, purchasing, and so on and so forth, is accomplish the overall strategy. That is the production plans, financial plans, facilities plan, logistic plan, marketing plan, human resource plan, and so on and so forth. Types of plan used by managers: identify short-term activities to implement strategic plans. Policies are standing plans that communicate guidelines for the decisions. Procedures are rules that describes actions to be taken in a specific situation. Budgets are plans that commit resources to project or activities. We talk about zero-based budgets, allocate resources as if each budgets were brand new altogether. That is what we are looking for it. Let us understand the planning tools. Now, planning tools is forecasting. Now, every time you need to take an action, you need to have a premises for that. So that is what we are looking into. Based on the premises, you would like to attempt to predict a future. Now, this is what qualitative forecasting uses expert opinions. Quantitative forecasting use mathematical models and statistical analysis of historical data and survey, as the case might be. This is what we are looking around here. Then comes the contingency plan, identifying alternative courses of action to take when things are absolutely not going the way you have actually planned for it. This is what we are looking at, the contingency plan. Remember, this is the plan where there is a backup in case plan A doesn't works out the right fashion. We have a backup plan in the form of plan B. So identifying alternative courses. Contingency plans anticipate changing conditions. Remember, this is what we are talking about it. Ifs and buts are always been built around in the plan. If this goes this, or but that goes that, whatever the reactions, whatever happening, you always have a backup. Contingency plans also have trigger points. Scenario planning is a long-term vision of a contingency plan, identifying alternative future scenarios, plan made for each future scenario, increase organizational flexibility and preparation for the future shocks. This is what we are looking forward to it. Right. So scenario planning, it's absolutely on a longer sense of the contingency plan. Remember, this is another version of the contingency plans, but on a longer sense. So identifying the alternative future scenarios and goes around it. Plans made for each future scenario. Increase organizational flexibility and preparation for the future shock, as the case might be. Benchmark use of external and internal comparisons to plan for future improvement. Adopt best practices things people and organization do that lead to superior performances. Staff planners assist in all steps of the planning process as the case might be. Absolutely, yes, this is what we are going around. Now, let us understand how do we implement the plans to achieve the desired result. Absolutely, yes. Now, we have to be smart. Absolutely, yes. So, smart will be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. So, that is what the goal should be all about it. Specific is to be desired outcomes clear to everybody. Everyone should know what is the real state of affairs that in the future state that we aspire to book forward. Timely is linked to a time, linked to a date, linked to a point of period. Absolutely yes. Measurable, no doubt. When accomplished or missed, as in the deadline, or as in the objective, as in whatever can be quantified. Everything that needs to be quantified. It might be a production plant that you're going to produce something in tons per day. Have you been achieved that objective or not? Realistic or challenging is to definitely extend it, stretch it, just to make ensure that it is just beyond your realms of your achievement, but still can be attained. If you are actually striving for it, you will achieve it. And then is attainable, which is realistic, possible to accomplish, is what we are looking for it as to implement the achieved results. Remember, implementing plans to achieve result is of vital importance every now and then. So let us understand the hierarchies, sample hierarchies. So first and the foremost thing is the mission and the purpose. Probably it tells you the broad guidelines of the organization. Let's say serves the world as a number one supplier of recyclable food container. Might be one of the missions. Let's say top management objective is now top management is deliver error-free products, meeting customer requirement 100% of the time. This is the top management objective. The first objective is mission, is being the number one in the industry. Senior management objective is manufacturing divisions. It means absolutely Six Sigma production, or in fact, better than Six Sigma, 100% on time production and error free products is a senior management. Where the middle management would be plant, increasing errors free products acceptance rate by absolutely by 16 odd percent. So, this is what we are looking into the middle management, the supervisory position that goes around it. The top management objective for self-supervisors would be to access the machine operator skills and to train an error free that comes around it. This is what we are looking forward every now and then. So yes, goals aligning between team leaders, team members as to jointly plan them, set objective, set standards, choose actions, individually set perform tasks, members provide support, jointly control is reviewing result, discussing implementation implications, and renewing cycle thereby. And that is what we will be doing around it. So this is what is the goal alignment between every supervisors and every subordinates. And I'm talking about right from the top management to the lowest of the employee that comes around it. So let us plan it jointly, as in the objective standards are to be expected, and then probably fragment it into an individual skill. Probably when we implemented it, it is a responsibility of both the supervisor and the subordinates thereby. Participatory planning, it unlocks the motivational potential of goal setting. Management by objective promotes participations. Where participation is not possible, workers will not be positive. And if supervisory trust and support does exist, that is what we are looking into it. In case it's a teamwork in an organization, it is always a teamwork that matters. Remember, participation is not possible when workers will be responding positively if supervisor trust and support exists. That is what we are looking forward time and again every now and then. So how participation and involvement works around it before I wind it up. Remember, first foremost thing is to define the objectives, the planning objective, and bring everybody under the umbrella. Take everybody's supports, because once they are into the fold of the things, they will actually implement and you will get 100% supports. Determine whether things stand vis-a-vis the procedures, vis-a-vis the objective. develop your future premises, as in what are resources that you have. I have already told you about it. What are the resources, what are the capabilities, what are your core competencies, and thereby you identify alternatives, which all path to take to achieve the plans or to achieve the objective. And lastly, and not the least thing, is the implementation. Now people will say, what are the alternatives do we have? Now we have got so many alternatives, right? First, we can do the thing on our own. Second, we can sublet to somebody else, as in make or buy decision on the other thing. Third, we might have part production in the plant, in the factory, in the organization, and part production at the premises of the client, the way you want to go it. So basically what we are looking into is building commitment to plans by allowing others to participate every now and then. And this is how planning will fragment all together. This is how which is required in the longer frame of time. With this few words, I would like to wind up this presentation on importance of planning in the management of tasks. I hope all of you have benefited from this video. Thank you for watching this video.